A woman never belongs to you. It's just your turn. Of course her parents don't have a problem with me being black. She's past the wall. Get your fat ass off the couch, start lifting weights, and learn game. You're welcome.
So you got drunk at a frat party, then fucked the football team? You're not a rape victim, sweetheart.
You're a slut.
What's up, guys? It's your man Donovan Sharp, and welcome to this edition of TSR Live. At Donovan_Sharp is where you guys can find me on Twitter, and make sure you like my Facebook page, TSR Live with Donovan Sharp. If you want to check out the archive, hit my website, thesharpreality.com. You can also find them all on iTunes, SoundCloud, the Google Play app on your mobile device, and of course right here on YouTube. You can contribute to the show through PayPal, Amazon, or Patreon. You can find those links on my homepage and on my YouTube channel. And if you're a little short on cash or you're a cheapskate like me, you can always support the show by hitting the like button if you are watching on YouTube. Let's make sure we get those likes up. Questions, comments, show ideas, or personal stories you'd like to share can be submitted through the contact tab of my website or on Twitter through the hashtag TSR Live with Donovan Sharp. Make sure, guys, that you head over to negromanosphere.com for your free copy of How to Stop Simping in 24 Hours, co-written by myself and David Simmons, aka D-Sim. Guys, this ebook contains over 50 pages of rock solid red pill advice on how to stop pandering to women, how to stop being taken advantage of by them, how to figure out which women are really worth committing to outside of sex, and of course, most importantly, how to change your mindset to become more successful with women and in life. There's a shitload more red pill knowledge packed into this book, and it's a great source for men who are both new to the red pill and red pill veterans. Regardless of whether you've been good with women for a while or you're just starting out in game, guys, you got to get your hands on this book. It's absolutely free. My fingerprints are all over it. Also, like I said, my man David Simmons, aka D-Sims, dropped some serious knowledge in this book. So head on over to manosphere.com to download your free copy today. Okay, so I just got done watching the Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Conor McGregor weigh-in, and McGregor came in at 153, and Floyd Mayweather Jr. weighed in at 149.5. So they both made weight. They're fighting at 154. I imagine Floyd will probably pack on maybe 5 more pounds. He'll probably fight at 154. McGregor says he's going to be at 170 tomorrow night, but I think he'll probably be closer to 165. It's going to be tomorrow night in Las Vegas at the T-Mobile Arena. This is said to be the biggest spectacle in combat sports history. I certainly can't argue with that. It's MMA versus boxing. It's got a lot of hype. The Vegas odds have Floyd Mayweather at -500, McGregor now at +400. That may or may not change between now and then. Before I get to the topic, let's go ahead and clean up a few things here. First things first, okay? If you're the I'm too cool to watch this fight guy, delete my channel, stop watching, stop listening, all right? I don't have time for that. If you are the I'm too intelligent to watch this fight guy, same thing. You can follow the I'm too cool to watch this fight guy out the door. And if you are the you're an idiot if you watch this fight guy, suck my dick, man. Like, I'm not trying to hear any of that stuff. The fight probably won't be close. This is obviously a mismatch of epic proportions, but the American public likes interesting. We like train wrecks. We like chaos. We like must-see TV. This stuff sells, okay? So say whatever you want. If you don't pay for the fight, you're gonna find a way to watch it. So you idiots out there who are too cool for school, stay out of the comment section. And if anybody sees any clowns in there, any of these clowns in there, dog the fuck at them. I've got no time for these guys who think they're so much more intelligent than the rest of the American public by publicly telling people that they're not going to watch this fight. They're gonna be watching just like everybody else. Okay, so first, let me get to motivations for who people are rooting for. It's been all over the sports media landscape today. It's been all over ESPN, Fox Sports, etc., etc. The first factor in terms of alliances is race. Race is absolutely a factor. You can deny it all you want to. Of course, it's a factor. We all know and understand this. Most people pulling for Conor McGregor seem to be white. Most people pulling for Mayweather are probably going to be black. Listen, guys, People root for who they identify with the most. That's how it is, all right? White people don't identify with Floyd Mayweather. They don't identify with black athletes. So guess what? They're going to pull for Conor McGregor. They don't have anything in common with Conor McGregor, who's Irish and this and that and the other, except for the fact that he's white. And for most people, skin color is all it takes. Most people in this country, 8-10 years ago, had nothing in common with Barack Obama. But guess what? If you had dark skin, you voted for him. That was generally how it was. Just because you're pulling for Conor McGregor doesn't make you racist. Same with Floyd Mayweather. Like I said, people root for who they identify with the most. That's just how it is. Then there's the domestic violence crowd, people who drink the ESPN Kool-Aid. These guys are rooting for McGregor because they're virtue signaling. I'm pulling for Conor McGregor because I'm a good and decent human being who vilifies bad people, and I want everyone to know it. You guys can miss me with that bullshit. Then we have the MMA community who's rooting for McGregor, which makes perfect sense. Now, guys, I'm not talking about the MMA fanboys, all right? I'm talking about the UFC trainers, the Bellator trainers, the fighters, Dana White, MMA fighters in both the UFC and Bellator. Guys that matter, the movers and the shakers in the industry. They're all predicting, a McGregor victory because that's their guy. And race doesn't play a role in that community. If Tyron Woodley were to box against Triple G, guess what? They'd predict a Woodley victory because, again, Woodley's a part of the mixed martial arts brotherhood. So that's where that goes. Then there's the upset-minded crowd. I think that's where most people fall into place. I think most people want to see McGregor. I think a lot of people want to see McGregor win because they want to see some chaos. They want to see the upset. Mayweather's an easy guy not to like if you're just paying attention to everything outside of the ring, even some stuff in the ring. People don't like professional athletes by and large because they're cocky and they're black and they're rich. People don't like rich, black, cocky guys. Professional athletes are rich, black, and cocky, so that makes Mayweather a very easy guy to dislike, and that could be a reason why a lot of people are pulling for McGregor to pull this upset. Which brings me to what I'm going to talk about here. Here's the deal, guys, and I'm gonna call you motherfuckers out right now. Anybody out there who says out loud that they think McGregor is going to win this fight are fucking liars. They're lying to themselves and everybody else. Now, does Conor McGregor have a chance to win this fight? Of course he does, all right? He literally has a puncher's chance in every sense of the word. He is a professional fighter. If he's on his feet, he's in the fight. But just because anything is possible doesn't mean it's likely. And this particular fight is the quintessential example of that. So now all of these idiot MMA fanboys or people who know nothing about fighting or people with other agendas or disingenuous reasons as to why McGregor is going to win this fight. Here are some of the typical arguments for these morons. And maybe you guys have heard some of this stuff and maybe I can convert you. They're using 8-ounce gloves. Guys, 8-ounce gloves aren't going to help McGregor, nor is it a disadvantage to Mayweather. If anything, it may actually help Floyd, who has superior hand speed, and theoretically, guys, lighter gloves will make his hands even faster, all right? It's going to be target practice as it is for Floyd Mayweather. 8-ounce gloves may make it easier for him. That's the first argument I'm going to squash. The second argument is one hit is all it takes. Now, truthfully, this is probably the best argument, but consider this, guys. I've seen every single Floyd Mayweather fight as a pro. And by the way, guys, he's fought 92 amateur fights and won 84 of those matches, all right? Of all the professional fights I've seen him in, I've seen him get hit on the button twice. I've seen him get rocked twice. Once by Sugar Shane Mosley in 2010, and once by Jose Luis Castillo in the rematch back in 2002. Nobody's caught Floyd with a clean punch in almost 7 years. And if professional level boxers can't do it, McGregor likely won't either. Okay, he could. I mean, listen, man, like I said, anything's possible. But Floyd's boxed in 141 matches between amateur and pro. Conor's not going to touch him. And if he does, it'll be blind luck. Here's another argument that the naysayers are talking about. He's going to bully Floyd. He's going to push him into a corner. He's just going to barrage him. He's going to bully him. He's going to be all over him. Again, guys, that's been tried before. Marcos Maidana tried it twice, lost twice. Miguel Cotto tried it and got picked the fuck apart. Ricky Hatton tried it and got knocked the fuck out with a check hook. You guys should definitely YouTube that one. That was a spectacular knockout. If the formula to beat Floyd is to bully him, guys, it would have worked already, but everyone's tried it before. Floyd is a superior defensive fighter. Back in the day when he was new to the professional ranks, his name wasn't Floyd Money Mayweather. His name was Pretty Boy Floyd. Do you know why they called him Pretty Boy Floyd? Because his face was pretty. Because he never got hit. Look at my screen. Does that look like a face? Does that look like the face of a boxer who's been in 141 fights, 141 boxing matches between professional and amateur? Yeah, me neither. When boxers try to bully, or let's get strategic with this. When boxers try to bully or push him around, Floyd makes them pay. It's almost as though he disciplines them for trying that strategy. So if a guy tries to come straight ahead, Floyd just, listen, man, he gets on radar, he evades the punches, and he hits him with that two-piece, or he hits him with that combination, all right? Round after round, they try to bully, they try to barrage him. Floyd makes him pay every time. Now, when a fighter's had enough, when his eye is swollen shut, when his nose is bloodied, okay, when those punches starts to sting a little bit, now he's going to stay on the outside, all right? Which is where, of course, Floyd proceeds to take him apart because he's a marksman. And again, an excellent defensive boxer, all right? They've learned their lesson. Floyd makes you pay every time you try to bully him. If McGregor tries to use this tactic, he's going to get schooled, guys. Listen, Floyd's going to open up one of his eyes, maybe both. Conor will start bleeding all over the place, which inevitably will impair his vision and put him at an even greater disadvantage. So anyone out there who thinks McGregor could just go in there and push Mayweather around and bully him, go to YouTube and watch both Maidana fights and watch the Ricky Hatton fight. Here's another argument that people like to talk about. McGregor can take a punch. Again, I would agree. In a boxing ring, in a boxer sense, Conor McGregor has a cast iron jaw, no question. But guys, every man has his breaking point. Floyd is going to hit him often, and at some point, an accumulation of punches is going to wobble a fighter. And if Mayweather sees an opening for a knockout, he's going to drop him. Because at that point, guys, he knows McGregor's taking a shitload of damage. And it makes me think of this. It's almost the same as the Julio Cesar Chavez versus Meldrick Taylor back in 1990. You guys should go back and YouTube this one. Listen, Meldrick Taylor outpointed Chavez the entire night. He was the quicker, stronger fighter. But Chavez, every once in a while, he would land these punches. He landed enough to wear him down, and with 2 seconds to go in the 12th round, all Taylor had to do was stay awake, and he would have won the title. And he would have knocked, I think Chavez was like 67 or 68-0 at that point. He'd have knocked him off the perch. But guess what? Chavez landed that left hook, knocked Taylor to the ground, and of course Richard Steele, the referee, made the controversial decision to stop the fight and give the win to Chavez. I'm not here to discuss that. But the point is that Chavez landed enough punches to wear out Taylor. He hit him with that one clean shot and took him out of the fight. Being able to take a punch is a good trait to have in the ring. But if you take too many, eventually they're going to take their toll, and that's what's going to happen to McGregor if he goes in there head first. Here's another argument. Floyd is old, Conor is young. That's another bad argument. Yes, Mayweather is older, he's shorter and has a shorter reach. But again, guys, Floyd's been fighting. He's been fighting in this discipline since he was a kid. 141 fights, guys. That's 3 lifetimes of experience compared to McGregor's 0. And of course, the last and final argument that these idiots use is anything could happen, right? Again, yes, it can. But let me refer you guys. Let's harken back to the greatest upset in boxing history and maybe even sports history, and that is Buster Douglas over Mike Tyson back in 1990. Now, coming into the fight, going to the tail of the tape, I think Douglas had a much longer reach. Tyson was 5'10", 220. Buster Douglas was 6'4", 231. All right? Iron Mike was given up 5 inches and 11 pounds in the heavyweight division. And guess what, guys? Buster Douglas was still a 42-1 underdog. Now, there wasn't social media or the internet back then. But you can be rest assured, there were probably a few idiots out there saying, I don't know, man, I think Buster Douglas is going to do it. Even though Mike Tyson has never been beaten and he destroys every man in his path, something tells me Buster Douglas is going to do it. And technically, they were right. Buster Douglas knocked out Tyson in the 10th round, but guess what? Even they were shocked when it happened because they didn't really believe that it was going to happen. That guy just wanted to be the one who correctly, quote-unquote, correctly predicted a Buster Douglas victory. But if he watched that fight and he saw Buster Douglas knock Tyson out, he didn't sit in his chair and shrug his shoulders and say, yep, I expected that to happen, and go about his day. Nah, man. That dude jumped out of his skin, climbed the wall, screamed his lungs out, and called everyone he knew to say, I told you so. His shock and his excitement betrays his confidence, guys, because in his heart of hearts, he knew he thought Tyson would win that fight, just like everybody else. It is the same thing with you idiots out here predicting a McGregor victory. If Conor McGregor wins this fight, you'll be every bit as shocked as the Douglas over Tyson guys, because deep down, you know McGregor's not winning this fight. You know damn well you wouldn't bet on you would not bet on a McGregor victory straight up with no odds. You wouldn't bet any person or organization dollar for dollar straight up on a McGregor victory because you know this is a mismatch. Now, could the impossible happen? Sure. All right, like I said, anything can happen. He's got a puncher's chance. But you know it won't, because if it does, you will be shocked just like everybody else regardless of their predictions. I am not here for all these fake motherfuckers out here who don't know anything about shit talking about I told you so. If Conor McGregor wins this fight, it will be the greatest upset in sports history. And anyone watching this fight knows that Mayweather's going to win that fight. There's not a person alive who, only one person in their heart of hearts thinks he's going to win this fight, and that's Conor McGregor. Dana White doesn't even think McGregor's winning this fight. He's in it for the payday, just like McGregor is. So don't be out here talking all this shit with these tired arguments like you really believe McGregor's going to win. You know good and goddamn well Mayweather's winning this fight, and if he doesn't, you're going to jump out of your skin just like the Douglas over Tyson guy. Now, I'm going to do a live show tomorrow night right after the fight with my reaction to whatever happened, so definitely stay tuned for that. That concludes this edition of TSR Live. Guys, make sure you like the video if you're watching on YouTube, and leave me a review if you're listening on iTunes. Don't forget to bookmark the Amazon link on our homepage if you want to support the show, or contribute via PayPal or at patreon.com/Donovan Sharp. Thanks for listening.